Welcome and happy Friday. Yeah, it is Friday. Holy smokes. I am on the road again, as you can see. I won't sing it for you, but I am on the road again, as you can see. We'll talk about that more in just a moment. Today's stream is about Netflix. Okay, Netflix released the details about their ad supported tier, and that's going to be coming out. Well, we'll talk about when it's going to be coming out, how much it'll cost, all the details around that in case you haven't seen it yet. Now, normally I would do my best to have, fancy graphics or screen sharing or something. Today that's just not going to happen, so I will I will do my best with what I've got here. What's weird is that normally it would at least show my name on screen, right? But it's not even doing that. Let me know if you can hear me, okay? Because I'm doing a new mic setup. We're doing lots of experimentation here. So tell me if you're having trouble hearing me. Well, tell me if you can hear me. How about that? All right. So, or I could cancel Netflix. Jason Murphy says, or you could cancel Netflix. Well, maybe we will see. Okay, we can hear you. Good. All right. That's good to know. All right. I want to. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a series of kind of banners here. That'll be my fancy graphics for the day. Okay, and then we'll get to saying hello to everybody. Um, this is okay. So this is what it's going to look like as we go through the stream. Um, I will. Okay, so I'll put along the bottom here what I'm going to be talking about at any given moment. We'll go kind of point by point through what we can expect from this Netflix ad supported tier. Now, the title of the video. I put the title of the video as Netflix joins the crowd. Now, why did I do that? Well, because Netflix has always been a part, and now they're doing some stuff that's kind of just making them join in with the crowd, right? So an ad-supported tier. We'll talk about the resolution that they'll be broadcasting at. The pricing that goes along with it. A lot of this stuff it just makes Netflix look like another streaming service. They've spent years looking like, and well, frankly, being not just looking like, but actually being kind of, top of the mountain. They were king of the crowd. Um, and so with this move, it makes them just look like everybody else. So they have joined the crowd, which is fine. Honestly, it's fine. This is kind of we're entering the stage of streaming, of cord cutting that I've been talking about for a few years now, where there's just an unbelievable amount of churn, and it's growing pains, and the industry goes through all this tension as everybody tries to figure out the best way, the best model, the most efficient way to deliver content, earn revenue, all that stuff, and finding balance. And it kind of looks like if we haven't reached that point, we are reaching that point to some extent, right? Does that make sense? Um, yeah, this is a good way to put it. So Paul says a sacrifice of prestige. Yeah, kind of. It kind of bowing to the inevitable, right? Where they were, for a while, they were the only game in town. Then Hulu came along, and they're like, well, yeah, Hulu, ha ha ha, and Netflix just creamed them, as far as viewership and subscribers. And then a few others came along, and Netflix is going, well, that's fine. You can all have your little toys over there, and they were sitting pretty. And now with subscriber numbers that we see on something like HBO Max or Amazon Prime, there's just an incredible amount of Disney Plus. Obviously, Disney Plus. There's an incredible amount of competition. So to pretend to be as prestigious as they were at one point is only going to be detrimental. They have to kind of absorb some of the lessons of these competitors, these other streaming services, and recognize that they are now one of many, not just the only game in town. So, yeah, a sacrifice of prestige, but it's a smart one. They have to do it that way, right? Um, what will the resolution be? We will get there. Let's start with the first thing, okay? I'm gonna go. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna hide that so I can edit that. Let's go through our first bit of info, and that is. Um, let's see. See, this is the laborious way to do it. I wish I had my dual screen monitors and I could be super fancy, but you know what? Today we're going with what we can or what we've got. Um, okay, go. So, first thing to know, launch date November 3rd, 2022. Holy smokes, that's like 3 weeks away, if that. What is that? So today's the 14th. November 3rd is, yeah, that's almost 3 weeks away, 20 days away. That's Thursday, November 3rd. This will be available. Now, they even have the time. It'll be available at 9 a.m. Pacific time on November 3rd. Okay. So if you are really excited and you can't wait to get on that, then that's the date to know. All right. Um, so let's see. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, good. Just lots of hellos and hellos to all of you. I may not take as much time to be as you know uh, to go through all of the comments today. Um, but yeah, I kind of want to get through this info. We'll do a little Q&A at the end, but I may make it a little bit shorter stream than usual. Okay, launch date November 3rd. Frayden says interesting. Yeah, it is kind of interesting because they previously said that it was going to be at the beginning of next year. They're launching early 2023 is what they put out as a kind of a PR statement. And then the word got around that the Netflix executives were kind of insisting on a launch date by the end of the year. They wanted to launch it by the end of the year. Let's get this going. You know, it's kind of one of those, hey, we've made the decision. Now let's make it happen. Let's not sit around. And it looks like they have. Okay, so November 3rd, that is quite the move up. Um, Anyway, all right. So there's where we are. But I like no commercials. Well, the good news is just because Netflix is adding an ad-supported tier doesn't mean you have to get it. Okay, so all of the other tiers will still be available. Um, so you can continue paying for Netflix the way you have and continue enjoying no commercials. Because I'm with you, I don't want the commercials. I will say my one fear with all of this, with all these ad-supported plans, I have seen some industry analysts come out and say that the days of the premium ad-free subscription are numbered. I don't know if I believe that, but it is a troubling idea that these uh, ad-supported plans will become so popular that they become the only game in town, and that it becomes more economically viable for the streamers to just only do ad-supported plans, so that they're all kind of the Pluto TV or Tubi TV, Tubi. It used to be Tubi TV, didn't it? Whatever, Tubi, Pluto, whatever, all the ad-supported stuff. I don't know if I believe that, but it's a troubling thought. And so I would just say for those of us who really hate commercials and who are willing to pay a few extra bucks, please do so, so that there are enough of us that those plans remain economically viable. Okay. All right. So that's our launch date. All right. Let's go to let's talk about pricing. Okay. Um, there we go. Pricing, 6.99 a month. All right. Hey, not too bad, right? 6.99 a month seems to make a lot of sense to me. Again, kind of like I was saying at the beginning, this puts it right in line with its competitors. Disney Plus will have its ad-supported plan coming up here. What are they charging? $8. HBO Max is $10 a month. Hulu, this is like right around where Hulu is at for their ad-supported tier, if it's not exactly the same. Anyway, so yeah, 6.99 a month. Again, we're joining the crowd. We're settling in. We're finding the equilibrium as an industry. The streaming industry is figuring out what the equilibrium is going to be, and it looks like this kind of $7 to $10 a month is right about where we're settling for an ad-supported premium service. Um, there are non-premium services out there, or niche services. Sorry, that was really loud. um, all right. Without ads, where would we get our campaign ad fix? So many campaign ads. Oh man. Okay. Let's see. Well, this is a good point. Once companies discover they can charge a monthly subscription and run ads, the days of ad-free streaming are numbered. Yeah, it's possible. I I feel like there will always be some segment of society that's willing to pay a premium to get rid of the ads. We see this with YouTube Premium, for instance, which I recently gave in and signed up for. YouTube Premium, if you look at the like as a YouTube creator, I can see like how much ad revenue or how much of my revenue comes from ads versus people who watch on YouTube Premium, because you get like a little cut of their monthly fee, whatever, like a very very small cut. Um, and so based on that, you can kind of see like the vast majority. It's like 95% plus of viewers are they're just running ads on YouTube. I bet most or all of you do so, but that's not necessarily the case for everybody. So there's that 5% or less who are willing to shell out, a few bucks a month. In this case, what is it, $10 a month for YouTube Premium? I'm trying it out. Okay, we'll see if it's worth it. But hey, $10 a month, and I don't have to watch YouTube ads. I use YouTube all the time. I use YouTube Music. I watch my programs on there. My programs. My grandfather already. So like I said, with this comment, it could be true, uh, but I don't think it'll ever totally go away. But I could be less right than usual. um, okay, if ad free dies, we'll be back to square one with services resembling standard cable. Not quite square one. I mean, hey, at least we're not locked into 1 or 2 year contracts, right? So contracts, we hate contracts, but so it's not quite square one, and it's not necessarily going to be tied to your phone line or your internet service or whatever. So it's not square one, but yeah, I've been saying this for a while. It's as the industry finds its equilibrium, it's going to settle into like just the way that cable did. Cable and satellite, they came along and disrupted the TV industry, and it was chaos for a little while, and then it settles in and it becomes the norm, and then something else comes along and disrupts it. Um, whether it's home video or streaming video or whatever, there's always something that comes along and disrupts the industry as it is. Well, now with streaming, we're not there. We're not to the kind of blanket total market dominance that cable once had, or cable and satellite slash whatever. But we are settling into what will be the norm for a while, and then something will break that up. We don't know what that is yet, but something will. All right. So, important question. Is this going to be standard D or high D? All right. Great question. Uh, okay. The answer is this. Nope. Nope. Why does it not? Why do you suck? There we go. Resolution at 720p. Yeah, some people. Nice, nice. Yeah, some people already mentioned this in the chat. Yeah, we'll be at 720p. Now, this one is interesting. 720p is technically HD, but it's not full HD. 1080p is what they call full HD, but 720p is technically a form of HD. Now, this will be on the $7 a month ad supported tier. It'll have one simultaneous stream and it will run at 720p. Okay. But if you are a longtime Netflix user or Netflix, watcher, industry watcher, then you'll know that Netflix, their low tier plan, the SD plan they call it, the one that this one will kind of be mimicking in a way, it will run, or it has run at 480p. Yikes, 480p. If you're watching, if you're watching on a little phone or something, like 480p works okay. I would say it actually works fine if it's a small enough screen. Not that it looks good, but it works fine. But if you're gonna watch it on a 55-inch TV on your wall, then 480p looks terrible, terrible. Um, so that plan, the existing standard definition plan will also get bumped up to 720p on November 3rd um, when the new tier, or yeah, the new ad supported tier goes into effect. It will also bring the paid version of that, or what paid? Gosh, this is so confusing. It's so hard to talk about. We're going to have to settle on some language here, but it'll bring that SD tier up to 720 as well. Okay. Um, so yeah, hopefully that answers your question. The SD plan is not going anywhere. Although, I mean, I don't know what they're going to call it because it's technically not standard definition anymore. Although, honestly, we should probably just change the industry language around what is standard, because 720p is like the minimum standard now, right? Like 1080p is nice and 4K is better. But 720 is like, yeah, you better at least be doing 720. Maybe. Anyway. Uh, yeah, I'm with you on this one, Josh. Absolutely. Um, all right. 480p on the big screen looks like you're viewing it through Jello. I remember one day, this was years ago, when cable broadcasts started going out in HD. So in this case, we're talking about more like 720. This is 20 years ago or something, whatever it was. I was watching football, and that was the big thing, like sports in HD. For those of you who remember the ads from 20 years ago, this was a big deal. Everything was so much more crisp. You can actually follow the action better, and all the graphics were sharper and all that stuff. And I got used to that. I watched baseball and football and whatnot in HD, and then I think I was visiting my grandparents or something, somebody who wasn't, who didn't have HD, and it was shocking. To this day, I feel like there was some kind of conspiracy that they downgraded SD service 20 years ago so that HD service would look that much better. I don't know that that's true, but that's what it felt like. Going from HD to SD made it feel like just the most giant step backwards. It was incredible. So yeah, I am, like Josh said, it's nice to know SD is going away. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what I was saying earlier. Absolutely. Um, all right. So let's see. Let me look through my notes and make sure. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. We do have a few more. Um, oops. We do have a few more things to go through. So we're gonna go for this one. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. Nope, not that one. This one. Yeah. All right. How many commercials will we have to watch if we sign up for this tier? 4 to 5 minutes per hour of commercials. Now, again, this is one more thing that just puts it right in line with the rest of the industry. Now, what's interesting about this, and it kind of goes back to a comment somebody made earlier. What was it? Oh, yeah. Frugal said once companies discover they can charge a monthly subscription and run ads, the day of ad-free streaming are numbered. It kind of reminds me of this. I wonder if there will be an effort to start pushing this because this is very much the industry standard. However, it has not been the industry standard in the past. Cast your mind back to the dark, dark days of when were watching, pure network TV or cable or whatever, and you tuned into, I don't know, what's an hour-long program? Law and Order. Okay, you're watching an episode of Law and Order. So you watch a 1 hour episode of Law and Order. How long is that episode of Law and Order? It's 44 minutes. If you're watching a half-hour comedy, it's 22 minutes. Or and you watch a half-hour comedy in syndication. Okay, you watch an episode of Friends on TBS or Seinfeld or something. Did you know that they will speed that up by it's not super egregious. It'll be 5 or 10%. They'll speed it up so that they can go from 22 minutes down to 21 minutes or 20 minutes and squeeze in a few more commercials, get some more of that ad revenue. Um, Anyway, I wonder if that will be the case in streaming at some point. Not necessarily the speeding up, but just how many ads will people let us get away with? But for now, the standard across now Netflix, but Hulu and HBO Max and Disney Plus and all that is right around here, 4 to 5 minutes an hour, which is we have to give credit where it's due, a lot better than it used to be. Okay, so per hour it used to be 16 minutes of commercials, and now if we're down to 4 to 5 hours, yes, we can still complain about ads. I will be right there with you, but we have to acknowledge that it is a lot better than it used to be. Okay. So gratitude where it's due, I suppose. Right. All right. Will kids shows have ads? I don't have the answer to that. I assume that they will. But I also assume uh, that like other streaming services, their algorithm will recognize what program is being run, right? And so they're not going to serve up an ad for erectile dysfunction pills or the newest episode of House of the Dragon or something in the middle of your kid watching, I don't know what's on Netflix, Blue's Clues or whatever. I don't know. Like I don't keep track. It's a great question. I don't know the answer to it, but I think that we can guess that the kids shows would have ads, but that they would be reasonably tailored. At least I hope so. Okay. Drives me crazy when I can't skip a 15-second ad on YouTube. A minute ad would feel like a slow, painful death. You guys. 1 minute. 1 minute. Man, so you guys must like really hate um like heavy metal or classical music or anything that lasts longer than like 3.5 minutes, right? Like, okay, this song is too long. um Let's see. Okay. Do they literally speed up the video? I was wondering what was going on with a Friends episode I was watching on TBS at a hotel because the voices sound a little higher than normal. Yes, they do speed it up. Um, they'll also go and do another edit sometimes. I don't know what the licensing issues around that is, but I have seen. Friends is a great example because I know it like the back of my hand. I know every line of every episode of all 10 seasons. Um, and I have seen it where they'll just cut out, certain scenes or certain lines. We got to get rid of that 10 seconds. We need to get rid of that 30 seconds so they can get more ads in. So anyway, let's see. Oh, interesting. Oh, I like this. Ads during syndicated shows on cable. They use a machine dubbed a time machine that drops a frame every second, allowing an extra 30 seconds to a minute in the half hour. That's fascinating. So if you guys excuse me, if you watch shows on TV, they are generally filmed at 24 frames a second, or in reality, it's 23.97 frames per second, I believe. But yeah, if you cut that out, that's 1/24th. So if you cut out one frame, that's 1/24th. Oh, fascinating. That's really interesting. Andy coming in, dropping the knowledge. I love it. Okay, there are a couple more things I want to show you guys. Let's see. All right, I know what I want to do. All right. Mm. No downloads on Netflix. This one, we yeah, yeah, we can see that coming. In fact, I'm not 100% sure that they have announced this. Um, but I'm just double checking. Yeah, yeah, okay. This is for sure. Yeah, they won't allow downloads. This is a premium feature, so you're gonna have to pay for a premium plan to get a premium feature. No downloads. How many people will this affect? I mean, it depends on your style, how you consume your media. If you consume it often on the go, then this might affect you. If you like, for me, the the times I use this the most often are either I know I'm going to be on a long flight, or I'm doing a long road trip with the kids in the car, and so I'll download some stuff onto the iPad so they can watch it as we're going. Um, Other than that, I don't download a ton. It's really once in a blue moon. Um, since most of what I do is I watch stuff on demand anyway, so I only need it if I know I'm going to be out of Wi-Fi range or something. But no downloads, so that's something to consider. And the last thing is something that we have talked about before, and that is what was I? Oh yeah, um, not all titles will be available, at least not at first, and presumably going forward. But we don't really know the answer to this yet. This answer hasn't changed. We actually kind of knew about this a month or two ago when announcements were being made and quotes were being gathered from Netflix executives. But not all titles will show up on this ad supported plan. The reason for that is largely because of licensing. When Netflix makes its own show or they buy a show, and so they can call it a Netflix original, that is theirs. They can do with it as they will. They can put it in the library, they can take it down, they can, whatever. But when they license a show, when they had The Office for years and it made them bajillions of dollars, when they licensed The Office, um, that agreement that they have to carry that program comes with certain requirements, and they do have requirements around, can we show ads with this, and then how do we split up that ad revenue and whatnot. And so that wasn't an issue until now. Now they have all these shows and movies that they've licensed from other production companies and studios, and now they have to rework those agreements to figure out, yeah, can we show this? How much are we going to have to? Um, how much are we going to have to share of the ad revenue with whoever it is? So anyway, so yeah, not everything is going to be on there. Oh, hey, D Bill, thank you very much for the super sticker. I much appreciate that. That's really nice. So for those of you who don't know, you can do super stickers. Um, and then I'm sure to see your comment. It will come through. So if you have something very important to say, then you can do that. But regardless, I appreciate that. It's like a little tip in the jar. Thank you. All right. Mm-mm-mm. Oh yeah, this is another part of the speeding it up. Yeah, they have to get permission from the rights owner to speed up a show, to edit a show, to whatever. It's kind of like when movies would go on basic cable and they'd have to edit out all the curse words, and so you'd have Keanu Reeves and Speed. He'd be like, "Pop quiz, hot shot," and he did not say hot shot. Like that's part of the licensing agreement. Yes, we can go in and overdub swear words or edit out sex scenes or nudity or whatever the case may be. Um, all right. Let's see. Frayden says no downloads, and I'm assuming one screen at a time. Yes, I don't think I put that on screen here, but yes, one simultaneous stream. Um, I'm surprised they're making it 720p as it is. Yeah, there you go. Um, okay. I bet most anime won't be on there because it's a pain to license. It's not something I know a ton about. I'm curious about that. I know a lot of anime is made in Japan, and maybe there are some international licensing agreements that they run into, or maybe it's just a niche industry that has worked out its own rules, and it's tough to make that work with what's out there. Um, Okay. So Mel asks, with this lower dollar ad tier of Netflix coming soon, will that eventually increase the premium ad free tier? Do you mean increase the cost? I assume you mean that. I doubt it. I'm not saying that they won't ever raise the price, but I'm saying that I don't think this would be what does it. And I do think that part of Netflix's problem is that they're still paying for what they were making 3 or 4 years ago, or if not longer, right? They went into a lot of debt, for a lot of years to make a lot of programs, um, and so they kept raising the price. Oh man, we're at $13 a month. We have to go to $14 a month. Oh, we got to go to 15. And now their 4K plan is at $20 a month, and it was that last well, I shouldn't say it was because of, but when that last price increase happened, I think there was a perfect storm. There was a lot of stuff going on. It wasn't just about the price increase, but when that increase happened, that was when Netflix, they're losing subscribers. They're getting tons of bad press. Their stock price was just, not bottoming out, but it lost a ton of steam compared to where it was at the end of last year. Um, and I think they're going to be pretty gun shy about raising their prices again for a while. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think it's going to be a little while before we see Netflix um, raise their core prices again. So anyway, that's my guess. um, and for now, I'm sticking to it. All right. So we'll go for a few more minutes. I'll answer a few more questions. Let me go and um, all right. We'll just change that to a generic one. Oops. Okay, there we go. So this is so that anybody who joins in later, they kind of know what we're talking about, right? All right, so get to a few more of your comments and questions. Oh, who mentioned LimeWire? I haven't thought about LimeWire in at least a week. No, I'm kidding. It's longer than that, but yeah, LimeWire was it was like one of the horsemen of the apocalypse for PCs everywhere. Like, I wonder how many PCs I bricked just by, you know, downloading music off of LimeWire. This is when I was a kid before I now have different views on pirating content, but at the time, I was like, "Give me all of it," all the music. That was I think LimeWire did some video as well, but mostly it was music, as I recall. Anyway, all right, where are we? So David says, I will be staying on the premium tier. I hate ads, and it's all budgeted. If I was struggling to pay for it, I'd get rid of one of the other streaming sites. Well, there you go. Yeah, everybody has a different method, right? A different way to deal with all these streaming services. Some people sign up for all of them, and they're paying 60, 70, 80 bucks a month for streaming. Other people jump around constantly. They're like, "Hey, I've got Netflix this month, but the new season of Handmaid's Tale is coming out, so I'm going to get Hulu." Or right now, it's kind of Prime Video season, right, with House of the Dragon. Or no, sorry, that's HBO. I'm thinking of Rings of Power, House of the Dragon over on HBO, whatever. And they kind of jump around, juggle them all. And others will just pick a couple and stick with them. And if they have shows they want to watch, they have shows they want to watch. And if they don't, they don't. So everybody has their own methods of doing it. And I think yours is perfectly reasonable. Okay. Oh, boy. I'll tell you what. I'm getting a little too old to be sitting on the ground. Oh. Okay. All right. I think Napster was before LimeWire. That's true. Yeah. Napster, the OG. Um, Rip Napster, thanks to Metallica, right? Um, all right. Recently got Roku OS 11.5. Congratulations. It is a little better. Let's see. I'm very informative. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you're talking about me and not somebody else in the chat. Chat people, not informative. Me, I'm informative. No, I'm glad that it's helpful. And I can't promise that all of our live streams will be helpful, but they'll at least be. No, I can't even promise amusing, but whatever. They'll be here almost every single Friday. Okay. I don't pirate anymore either. Yeah, it's the more I learn about the costs of pirating, um, the less I want to do it. I'll just put it. Yeah, let's just leave it there. That's not the topic for today. So, did they have video too? Oh man. Okay. Okay. We're really on LimeWire now. So fun. Yeah. That's right. The live streams are fun. Again, it's hard to promise that, but well, I appreciate you guys. Um, Morgan comes in, says, "I like your mobile channel. Helped me a lot." Um, let's see. So, yeah, well, yeah, I appreciate that. We do have, so there's a mobile channel. There's also a like a smart home channel. I think I had a video just go up on the smart home channel this week. So you can go check those out. If you go to, again, I can't do my fancy screen sharing right now, so sorry about this. But if you click on our little logo down there, go to the channel. You scroll down a little bit, and it'll have the other channels listed there, kind of on our page. So you can go check those out. I I've had the Google Nest Protect. That's their like smoke alarm, carbon monoxide detector. um, I've had that for 4 years, and I finally reviewed it. So that went up on the smart home thing. Anyway, so yeah, you guys should all go check those out. All right. So I'm gonna call it for today, you guys. Let's see. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I am, like I said before, traveling. um, and so I'm not in a great position to do my full hour stream. I will be streaming again in a little over an hour over on the Legendarium. We're going to be talking about the Rings of Power finale that just hit last night / this morning. Um, but yeah, that'll be coming up over on that other channel if you care to talk about that. But what was I going to say? No, I think I'm good. I feel like I feel like this stream makes me feel like a real like traveler. I don't feel like I travel all that much, but it happens to often fall on Fridays. And so I've done streams for you guys from Atlanta, from Denver, from Seattle. This is like the third time I've done it from Seattle. um, and if I ever go visit my friends over at Whistle Out, then I'll do a stream from San Diego. I feel like I really get out and about, but that's just because it's on Fridays. Anyway, thanks everybody um, for hanging out on this live stream, for your participation. It makes it a lot of fun. For somebody, somebody said they're fun. Was it Paul? Yeah, Paul said that the live streams are fun. That is not because of me. That's because of you. So thank you very much for participating, for being here on Fridays, and I'll see you for the next one in 1 week.